Hello, everybody. This is Mr. Clemens, and we're talking about Unit 2. We're talking about Night in Unit 2, and this is a book by Elie Weisel. So I just want to give you some background information on that book. The standards we're talking about today, RL 9-10.10, read and comprehend literature, including stories, dramas, and poems, with a complexity band. Sorry about that. And initiate and participate effectively in a range of collaborative discussions, one-on-one, in groups, teacher-led, with diverse partners on grades 9 through 10 topics, and respond thoughtfully to diverse perspectives, summarize points of agreement and disagreement, and when warranted, qualify or justify their own views and understanding, and make new connections in light of the evidence and reasoning presented. So Night is a book about the Holocaust, and let's just talk briefly about why the Holocaust should be studied. And I don't know which of this you knew already and which that you didn't. So the Holocaust was a systemic state-engineered genocide of the Jewish people by Nazi Germany and its collaborators. And this resulted in the murder of approximately 6 million Jews, Jewish people, including 1.5 million children. This was during World War II. At the same time, other groups, including the Romani people, homosexuals, the disabled, and prisoners of war, were persecuted by the Nazi regime and their collaborators. The Holocaust was a defining event in the 20th century that teaches us powerful and enduring lessons about humanity and shaping our world today. The Holocaust is, at its core, a human story, which makes us question how it was humanly possible. It allows students to recognize the short and long-term causes and effects of prejudice, discrimination, and ultimately genocide. Studying the Holocaust allows students to develop the capacity and willingness to be informed and active citizens. It shows us how fragile the institutions that are supposed to protect the rights and security of everyone can be, and how they should not be taken for granted. Learning about the dangers of hatred and discrimination and the Holocaust is important to fighting intolerance and prejudice in today's world. Studying the Holocaust provides opportunities to explore and inspire with stories of courage and adversity, upstanding behavior, and resilience. These lessons can encourage students to build an understanding of and value a diverse and cohesive society. And if we look at a timeline of the Holocaust, we have to start with the rise of the Nazi Party that started around 1918, because this was the party that took over Germany, and they're the group that was mostly responsible for the Holocaust. So during the 14 years following the end of World War I, the Nazi Party grew from a small political group to the most powerful party in Germany. And then we have Nazification. When Hitler became chancellor running the country, the Nazi Party quickly changed Germany's political, social, and economic structure. They sort of took over the country and changed just about everything about it. And so there were ghettos, and this is where the Jews in Germany were confined to live. And this was another critical step in Hitler and what Hitler called the final solution, which included getting rid of all the Jews. He started concentration camps where that was basically the final step in the annihilation of the Jewish people in Germany and the collaborative countries. There was some resistance. This is, for a few years, people resisted by any means possible, from stealing a slice of bread to sabotaging Nazi installations. Then there was rescue and liberation. Some survived through the heroics of neighbors. Others were liberated by the Allies. Those were the countries fighting against Germany and the other enemy countries from the Allies' perspective during World War II. And then there was the aftermath, which is just about everything after. Nazi perpetrators faced punishment for their war crimes, and survivors began rebuilding their lives. So people who were involved, Nazis in particular, who were involved in the Holocaust, years later were investigated and prosecuted. They were brought before courts and stuff like that. This is a picture of Auschwitz. This was one of the concentration camps, killing factories, whatever you want to call it. And just look at this picture for a second and tell me what you see. I mean, to me, it looks like a prison. I see a lot of chimneys here. So, you know, what are those being used for? If you don't know, might be worth investigating. Above the Auschwitz entrance, it says Arbeit macht frei, which translates to work makes you free. And so we arrive at the author of Night, Elie Weisel, and these are some pictures. So let's talk about the author. This person was born in Romania in 1928, and that area would later be absorbed by the Hungary country. Well, the country of Hungary, I should say. He was raised as a Hasidic Jew. That's a particular type of Jewish faith and Jewish people. In 1944, his family was transported to Birkenau, which was one stop before Auschwitz. He and his father were separated from his mother and sisters. Only Weisel and his two older sisters survived. As a writer, Weisel has dozens of written works and won many awards. He was a professor and he won the Nobel Peace Prize in 1986. So when you read Night, I want you to keep all this in mind. The backstory of how the Holocaust happened, who did it, when it was done, sort of why it was done, the horror, the sheer horror of what actually happened, and then the results of what happened afterwards, and what that author has been through, because a lot of it comes through in the book. If you have any questions, my email is on the screen along with my phone number. Feel free to call or send an email, and you'll have access to these slides too. There are 2 videos here. If you would like to learn more about Auschwitz and survivors, there's one video here by the Smithsonian that's about 5.5 minutes long. And there's also a 45-minute thing with Oprah and Elie Weisel that you can watch here. So these links can be clicked on from the slide, and they're also available right here in the bottom. And these slides will be available to you in the class recordings document. So stick around and get some stuff done in Unit 2. If you have any questions, I will be here to answer them.